I'm Jamie Schlegel, and I am so excited and honored to be kicking off the 10th anniversary celebration of the Green Bench and Elder Wisdom initiative at Schlegel Villages. This initiative started as a very simple idea to place a green bench in a public space with one of our residents on the bench and inviting members of the public to have a seat and start a conversation with an elder. Those conversations have led to some amazing interactions, sometimes sharing levity and a laugh, sometimes sharing life's struggles and trials and seeking advice and wisdom from an older adult. Since those early days and that simple initial idea, this program has caught fire. It has spread across Ontario and Canada and even across the Atlantic into Europe. People have recognized the value of having these interactions with our elders to break down those stereotypes and ageist barriers that exist far too prevalently in our society, to acknowledge the wisdom and the contribution that our elders can make to our communities, and to have positive interactions between human beings. Far too often in our Western culture, generations are separated, and young folks don't have the easy opportunity to connect with older adults. And the Green Bench program seeks to rectify that by bringing generations together and real conversation. I'm so excited about the activities that we have planned for the 10th year celebration. I can't wait to see how those unfold as we continue to spread the Green Bench further afield, one conversation, one interaction, one moment at a time. Thank you.
At the heart of every community lies a wealth of wisdom waiting to be shared, held by the older adults who have lived, learned, and experienced life through decades of change. To celebrate and amplify these voices, we began a journey. A simple green bench, an open seat, and an invitation to connect. This is the story of elder wisdom, a story of conversations, of intergenerational connection, of honoring the lives and lessons of our elders. 10 years in the making. It all began in June of 2016. 13 communities. One powerful idea. From Kitchener City Hall, where Joan was the first to share her wisdom, to Windsor's riverfront, Guelph's downtown square, and Toronto's Roundhouse Park, residents of Schlegel Villages sat proudly on the green bench, inviting their neighbours to join them in conversation. Each village received a green bench built and painted with care by residents and team members. And so, a movement was born. In 2017, the green bench made its way into classrooms. 80 seniors visited 16 schools in one day, reaching more than 500 students across Ontario. One student said, "That was the best history lesson I've ever had." For a moment, the classroom was transformed into a place where lived experience became the most valuable lesson of all. We also welcomed astronaut Chris Hadfield, who joined Phil on the bench at the village at University Gates this year. In 2018, the conversations reached new corners of community life. From Tri-Pride festivals to farmers' markets and even the Kitchener-Waterloo Oktoberfest parade, seniors shared stories that stopped people in their tracks. A clip from Trinity Bellwoods Park went viral on CBC, reaching millions. Don's advice? Don't sweat the small stuff.
It's very important because when you're getting older, you feel like alone. You feel like nobody cares anymore.
when I get to be about your age, I hope that a nice young person stops and talks to me occasionally.
Relationship advice, be careful. That's all.
Sometimes the simplest wisdom has the most profound impact. By 2019, the green bench had become a symbol of connection. It appeared at expos, parades, and festivals across Ontario. Audrey, who sat on the bench in Brampton, later became the face of a regional Safe Seniors calendar campaign. On Instagram, Ashley shared, "Even though it was only for a short time, that conversation made my day. Thank you for this extraordinary campaign." In 2020, amidst a global pandemic, the Green Bench found a new home, online.
My name is Don McQuire, and I'm 91 years old.
And I'm wife Marjorie, and I'm 80. Well, it's a debate, 88 or 89. Take your pick. John and I argue like cat and dog.
We argue, but we decided that if we had an argument, we didn't take it. We took it to bed, but when we got up next morning, it was all clear. We've done that. We've done that all our lives.
Well, I think that you like to think how other people live. Different countries, different food.
We obviously like to see different places.
Yeah. My parents had motorbikes, and we had a sidecar on with a two-seater sidecar in it. And we toured England on it. We did travel a bit too after we retired.
We travelled quite a lot, I think.
I don't think you should get into debt. I think that we never really bought anything that we couldn't pay for. We didn't have lots of money, but we had a little car and we had a nice home, 2 girls. But we never had any spare cash. We'd never heard of a line of credit, never. Even if you buy it today on credit and you pay for it tomorrow, you've established a credit rate. Sometimes we spontaneously bought something.
If we bought something, it was paid off before.
Yeah.
Before its time.
We never bought anything that we couldn't afford.
We never got anything where we were going to get into a hole and get further in.
We launched The Elder Wisdom, Stories from the Green Bench podcast, hosted by Erin Davis and Lloyd Hetherington. Their conversations carried comfort and connection into homes around the world. That same year, we received the Pioneer Network's Community Commitment Award, and resident Barry Hickling joined WeTech Alliance as an intern, proving that wisdom never retires. In 2021, the Faculty of Health at the University of Waterloo welcomed their own Green Bench, a symbol of inclusion and intergenerational learning. Across Schlegel villages, we celebrated the passions of residents through virtual storytelling. Their interests, talents, and joys reminded us that life's purpose evolves, but never fades. By 2022, the Green Bench was back in public spaces. From Nathan Phillips Square to the Hamilton waterfront, we hosted more than 100 hours of heartfelt conversation. And at Newmarket Health Centre, an Elder Wisdom Green Bench was gifted in honour of Sharon Cook, a leader in culture change through the Ontario Association of Residents' Councils. Erin Davis welcomed the first podcast guest, Doug Robinson, as her new co-host. In 2023, beauty came into focus through the lens of photographer Christine Kufsky. She captured the passions of 28 residents, each photo a portrait of purpose and pride. These were showcased at exhibits across our villages and shared through the collaborative programs of Pursuit of Passions and Elder Wisdom. Our podcast welcomed new hosts, Evelyn Brindle and Kathy Buckworth, and even held a live taping in front of 500 attendees in Niagara Falls. In 2024, the Green Benches visited a variety of public libraries across Ontario. One visit brought together Cecile and Matthew at a library in Tecumseh. She, an 83-year-old. He, a 13-year-old boy who sat beside her to talk. Their shared love of Disney sparked a friendship that blossomed into something truly beautiful, like grandmother and grandson. A green bench was gifted to the Essex County Library, continuing the story of connection beyond that single day. And around Ontario, over 90 residents joined in green bench events that June, including a speed dating-style gathering at Humber Heights. 10 years, thousands of conversations, countless lives touched by a simple green bench. From city parks to classrooms, podcasts to parades, the message remains the same. Our elders have wisdom to share, and our communities are richer when we take the time to listen. As we celebrate this 10th anniversary, we say thank you to the residents, families, team members, students, and strangers who've shared in these moments. Here's to the next chapter of Elder Wisdom. Pull up a seat, let's keep the conversation going.
In 2010, Ron Schlegel shared a vision, one that recognized the immense, often untapped wealth of knowledge and life experience residing in the hearts and minds of our oldest citizens. He imagined a society that not only respected its elders, but actively sought to learn from them, to be guided by the wisdom they had gathered over a lifetime. Inspired by this dream, a dedicated group of team members came together with a shared purpose to create a program that would truly honor and celebrate the lived experiences, talents, and insights of residents across all of our villages. From this collective effort, Wisdom of the Elder was born. More than just a program, Wisdom of the Elder is a philosophy, a deeply rooted belief that every person, regardless of age, has something valuable to contribute. It encourages us to create intentional spaces and opportunities where residents are invited to share their stories, skills, and perspectives, not only within the village, but also with the broader community. This sharing becomes a living bridge between generations, a way to foster mutual respect, deep connection, and continued personal growth. Signature events such as Pursuit of Passions, the Schlegel Olympics, the Elder Wisdom Green Bench campaign, and the Stories from the Green Bench podcast are vibrant celebrations of this philosophy in action. They showcase the extraordinary energy, insight, and talents of our residents in ways that challenge ageist stereotypes and affirm the value of every individual. However, the true spirit of Wisdom of the Elder extends far beyond annual events or public campaigns. At its heart, this philosophy comes alive in the everyday interactions and relationships we cultivate within our village. When we strive to ensure that each resident is engaged in meaningful relationships, ones where they feel seen, heard, and valued, their wisdom is shared naturally without need for ceremony. In these genuine connections, residents contribute to the life of the community in profound ways, discovering renewed purpose, forming lasting bonds, and continuing to grow as individuals. This is the foundation of Wisdom of the Elder, a commitment to honoring the full humanity of every elder, embracing their wisdom and weaving it into the fabric of our communities for today and generations to come.
One of the factors for aging well is social connectedness, relating to other people.
Yeah.
We're essentially social beings.
Yeah. And I think isolation is one of the great problems in our society. Isolation of older people that seem to become detached from those roots, and isolation of younger people who don't feel an identification with others, or certainly anybody over a certain age.
It's really important, I think, this green bench, to have it sitting in public places, public spaces. Seniors have so much to give. What wisdom do elders have that should be shared with other generations?
I would say all the important things in life I've learned from my children. Observing them grow and being part of their life has given me an entirely new perspective on, I think, who I am and what is my place in the world. It's the joy of helping others, helping them accomplish their goals, learn how to overcome obstacles, etc. And I think that is a very important feature of modern life. And I suppose that's why I believe in the wisdom of elders, that you can teach, instruct, advise on that empathy and walk on the other person's shoes and often give that person a hand up.
So the joy of helping others.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this conversation.
Welcome to today's trivia. Let's see how many of these common sayings you can finish. Ready? Let's begin. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Actions speak louder than words. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Every cloud has a silver lining. The early bird gets the worm. You can't judge a book by its cover.
Did you know that we have been encouraging the signing of the Elder Wisdom Pledge since 2018 and have over 700 signatures of individuals from all over the world who have taken this pledge against ageism? This is the pledge. I pledge to restore to a place of reverence the elders of our society, honoring the wisdom of our oldest citizens have gained through in lifetime of trials, tribulations, joys, and success. I further vow to end ageism once and for all, counting this unjust form of prejudice unacceptable. I have signed it and encourage you all to visit elderwisdom.ca and add your name to the honor the wisdom of the elder.
Be enthusiastic about the things you have to do.
Be kind to everybody and have a good humor. Don't sulk.
Do your best every day.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to share that the Green Bench will be traveling around your communities this June, and I'm going to share some of those dates with you now. Tuesday, June the 3rd, the village of Erin Meadows will be taking their Green Bench to John Fraser Secondary School. On Wednesday, June the 4th, the village of Taunton Mills will be traveling to the Whitby Public Library at the Whitby Farmers Market. On Saturday, June the 7th, the village of Winston Park will be going to the Tri Pride at Victoria Park. And on Tuesday, June the 10th, Hamilton Continuing Care will be attending Myrtle Park with the Green Bench. Also on June 10th, the village of Glendale Crossing, you can find them at Springbank Park. And Erin Mills Lodge on June 10th will be visiting Erindale Secondary School. On Tuesday, June 17th, the village of Sandalwood Park will be taking their Green Bench to the Garden Square. And on Thursday, June 19th, the village at University Gates will be traveling to the St. Jacobs Farmers Market. Thursday, June 19th, Coleman Care will be heading to the Andrew Hunter Elementary School Cultural Night. And also on June 19th, the village of Wentworth Heights will be at Pier 8 on the Hamilton waterfront. The village of Aspen Lake and the village at St. Clair will be at Reum Park on Tuesday, June the 24th. And also on June 24th, the village of Riverside Glen and the village of Arbor Trails will be at the Guelph Public Library. On Wednesday, June 25th, the village of Humber Heights, Fairview Nursing Home, and Maynard Nursing Home will be at Trinity Bellwoods Park. The village of Aspen Lake will also be taking their green bench to the Tecumseh Library. And the village of Tansley Woods on the 25th, they are going to be hosting an event at their village. We encourage you to visit the elderwisdom.ca website to learn more about this program and to visit a green bench near you.
We are so glad that you have joined us as we kick off our 10th year of Elder Wisdom. Let us know where you are watching from in the chat. We are thrilled to share something truly special. Across Schlegel villages, 8 remarkable residents are setting out on unforgettable journeys, some to their hometowns that shaped who they are, others to long-dreamed-of destinations. And with each step, they'll be sharing their stories, their wisdom, and their hearts with all of us. This isn't just travel, it's a celebration of memory, resilience, and the extraordinary lives lived quietly among us. At each stop, we'll set up our signature green bench, an open invitation for conversation, for listening, for learning, for connecting across generations. Let's meet our travelers. First up, Joan from the village of Glendale Crossing. She's heading home to St. John's, Newfoundland, a place of steep hills, sea winds, and deep roots. From childhood dances to the church where her family gathered, Joan carries memories of a tight-knit community and warm family bonds. Her green bench conversation will honor those early days and the spirit of Newfoundland that's never left her heart. Joining her in Newfoundland is Annika from the village of Riverside Glen, traveling to fulfill a lifelong dream. Annika, a resilient single mother of 4 living with Parkinson's, reminds us that travel is still possible with courage and support. She's dreaming of fjords, whales, and maybe even getting screeched in. Her story is one of strength, faith, and the enduring pursuit of joy. Heading across the Atlantic, Doug from the village of Sandalwood Park is returning to his childhood home in Tooting, England. At 90, Doug has lived through the Blitz, a 60-year hospitality career, and now proudly calls himself the king of the green bench. His journey is about revisiting the street he grew up on, the hotel where he worked, and sharing his life story with a community across the sea. He'll be joined in England by Bob from the village of Tansley Woods, visiting a dream destination that he once hoped to explore with his late wife. A lifelong Globe and Mail journalist and devoted Rotarian, Bob is eager to dive into England's rich history, enjoy a pint at the pub, and maybe even sit on the bench with some local Rotarians. His story is one of love, learning, and legacy. Back here in Ontario, Tom from the village at University Gates is returning to Elmira, where he played for the Sugar Kings, raised racehorses with his dad, and watched his sister-in-law's legacy live on through a community walking track. Tom's green bench conversation will be a homecoming and a tribute to resilience, sport, and family bonds. Doug and Jan from the village of Wentworth Heights are heading back to their hometown of Canada and Ottawa. Their roots run deep. Doug served on city council, built Little League programs, and helped shape Canada as a community. Their visit is not only a return to the place where they raised their family, but also to the memory of their late son Ryan, and the many people who stood by them through joy and grief. And finally, Kay from the village at St. Clair will visit Ottawa, a dream destination that reminds her of her English hometown. A lover of books and classical music, Kay is looking forward to connecting with family, exploring the city, and leaving a piece of elder wisdom behind, perhaps at a library where her voice can continue inspiring others. So join us as we journey across Canada and across the ocean to celebrate the past and illuminate the present.
Hey folks, I'm sitting on the green bench and beside our hashtag. Really excited this year for the 10th anniversary of the Elder Wisdom project and the Green Bench campaign. That's going to happen across all kinds of places in Ontario, and we're taking it global this year, which is super exciting to see residents go back to their hometowns, whether it's in England or St. John's, Newfoundland, or Ottawa, and all kinds of really cool places. And we are going to drop benches in places we've never brought them before. It's so exciting. But the one thing I'm really pumped about is we've hired a wonderful partner called Sand Bay Entertainment to actually follow our residents on their journeys this year. We're filming a very cool documentary that we are going to show you likely end of this year, early next year. But I'm here to introduce our friends at Sand Bay who would like to share a message with you.
Hello, good morning. Hello to all the residents, staff, and family members of Schlegel Villages. My name is Sarah Fody. I am very happy and honored to say that I am the writer-director of a brand new documentary project called The Green Bench. We are thrilled to have been chosen for this opportunity. Our firm has been around for 21 years, and we've had almost a singular passion for documentary production, especially documentary production that centers the lived experiences, wisdom, and voices of Canadian seniors. So it goes without saying that we are so very happy that the Green Bench is our latest undertaking. I'm not sure what else I can say about the film at this time. I will say that we are set to begin filming over the next upcoming weeks. If you happen to see one of our crew members in your particular village, please don't hesitate to come up and introduce yourself and say hello. We would be thrilled to meet you. Otherwise, I invite you to follow along the film's journey in social media, and I want to end with a deep sense of gratitude, certainly to the senior management for putting your trust in our firm to bring this important story to the screen, but also to the residents and the staff at the villages and the family members for opening up your brains and your hearts to our cameras. Summoning that kind of courage to tell your stories, your deeply personal stories, to cameras is it's a very vulnerable and intimate undertaking, and we never take that for granted. So we're deeply thankful in advance for everybody that's going to sit in front of us, and I hope as many of you sit in front of our cameras as possible. We would like to tell as fulsome a story about Schlegel Villages and elder wisdom as we possibly can. So I will leave it there, but I look forward to meeting as many of you as I can at the film's premiere, which will be sometime later this fall. Take care.